magic word again.
Rotate.
Rotate.
The power's coming on. 95% power is set, so we don't need full power. We'll go above that as well, but we don't need it. Counteracting that crosswind. Airspeed's active. 80 knots checked. We're both still alive. We're going to continue the takeoff. 100, 110, 120, 31. Rotate. So stop running back. Keep going. Go hold it there. Sticks forward a bit there now. Back to neutral. Pushing forward. Positive climb. Gear up. Wheels up straight away. No, you can't see in the climb. Don't worry.
What was that?
That's the wheels coming up. Now get a bit of the flap in there now, so you can hear you can hear them coming in there now.
You do sometimes hear like when you take off like a elastic band.
Yeah,
like
you do indeed, yeah. But your nose just dropping down a little bit, that's okay, just a little bit of back pressure and keep it going. Flaps are coming up, gears coming off, auto brakes are coming off. Can you see it's like a river and a road on the left?
Yeah.
Let's do a left turn to follow the road. Easy.
Not.
Go on now, I don't mind. Perfect. Put the auto throttles in there now. So free nuts.
Still going up.
If you want to go up, that's fine. If you don't, push forward, it'll bring the nose down. If you want to stay out the window a bit more, just lower the nose a bit. And you can see a bit more. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. That's the trim wheel. So this wheel here just helps keep this stick in balance a bit.
Yeah, I don't like it when the nose goes down. Go up again. Oh.
Well, sometimes it's got to go down whether it's landing or whatever. You can kind of see the lights go off in the distance. That's all we're going to do is follow them lights. Now, do you want to go on autopilot? Are you happy flying?
I'm alright flying at the minute, I think.
Okay.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, perfectly fine.
Just tell me if I'm going to hit him out.
Well, we've got a bit of cloud here now, so what we'll do, we'll keep climbing.
Right,
We get above the cloud. No, just keep where it is, that's fine. We'll slow climb up, we get above the cloud. And generally clouds in the Austrian Alps, they hover around the top of the mountaintops. So once you get above the cloud, you're going to be above the mountains. And you've got no dangers. It's a danger because we have terrain radar, we've got weather radar on board here, so we know exactly where we are and what we're doing. There you are, there's 11,500 feet, so now we're going to push forward to level off.
So push forward.
That's it.
There's some output over there. Should I be up a bit more?
No, you're fine, that's fine.
So that screen in front of you, John, is that's level, is it, there now?
I don't know.
Yeah. So we don't really want to fly in instruments, we want to look out the window. So if I come left a little bit like that, that's pretty much, that's level flight there. So if you look out the window,
Yeah.
see the horizon?
Yeah.
The horizon's nice and level. And for me, I can get about, say about 2 inches of land. So from the horizon to the top of the comb in here, I've got about 1.5 to 2 inches of land. That's about level flight for me, somewhere there. And that's how we want to fly, just looking out the window. You can see the moon in the distance on the left, on the horizon. You can also see the valley and the river over here.
Yeah.
Next door is a bit of a left-hand turn and fly me down the river and fly me down the valley. Just to the left of the moon. Want it a little bit lighter?
Yeah, go on then.
A little bit lighter?
A bit lighter.
Oh, that's probably don't
I'm going to go back in time.
Yeah. Just keep going straight ahead there.
Where's he gone?
You're flying.
I didn't realise he'd even gone. Are there birds ahead of me?
Not at this altitude. Where?
Huh?
Where are you seeing birds?
It just flew across. Poor aeroplane, it doesn't know what it's doing.
You're flying it.
I know. Look, I'm going up. Come on.
Look at that screen in front of you.
I can't look at the screen and look at you.
Yeah, look outside the window. You've got 2 inches of gap. So if you push forward,
Forward.
that'll bring the nose down.
Yeah.
And you want that 2 inches of land visible. So you want to see the horizon. And if you're stretching, that's the wrong thing. Just
Right.
sit in your chair, relax. You're controlling, push forward, bringing the nose down. There you go. Back to
I
level
think
flight again.
I'm too gentle,
Too
aren't
gentle,
I?
yeah, that's it, don't be gentle. They're a big heavy aircraft that can take a little bit more abuse. Don't worry about that.
Am I still following that river that way, or am I going straight on
The
there?
heading you're on's fine, yeah? What you're doing now is perfect. We're just going to stay in this direction. Just have a little bit turn left, a little bit turn right, just get a feel for it. Not that hard, is it?
No, I'm not going to hit these mountains, am I? Should I
No,
go up a bit?
no. You're well above, don't worry. So them mountains down there are around about 7.5, 8,000 feet. We're at the minute 13,000 feet.
Feels like we're heading towards it.
We are, we're going to fly over them, and then we're going to get past them, we're going to drop down. When we drop down, we're going to see the airport. Airport's over here on the right, but it's at the end of the mountains, end of the mountain range. And we'll see a bit more than 2 inches of land there, can't we?
Yeah,
So that
so
means we're
pull up.
descending down, so pull back, and bring that nose up. There you go, somewhere there. That's it. And I can see it's a little bit in the right hand turn.
So do I need to go
So you
left?
want to go left a little bit, just to level the whole horizon up. That's it, a little bit of forward pressure to keep that 2 inches of gap. Now for the landing, we've got 2 ways of doing it. We can either do it manually, like us flying it, and I'm here to help you with that. Or you can do an auto land, see how the automatic pilot does it. What kind of landing would you prefer to do?
Well, I feel like I should land it, seeing as
Since you took it off, eh? So
Well-
would you do that?
if anybody, you see, if I'm on a flight, someone says, "Oh, pilot's collapsed, can anyone take over the controls?" You would have to-
With a little whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's level the wings up and let's come left a little bit in that direction.
I don't think the passengers would be very happy, like, but
You've probably got more experience than anybody else on board though. Maybe it's anyway. You see like a bit of a long bit of a lake there.
yeah.
Let's do a left turn and fly towards that lake. So you want the middle of the aircraft, so not you, not your window, middle of the aircraft heading towards that lake. This is the hard part because you're sitting 2.5 feet off the centre line. So you've got to allow for that little bit of off-centerness. So bring the throttles back to idle there, which is what we do for the landing. So now you're heading towards our lake. Now we can bring the wings level, so a little bit of right stick, that's fine for us. And we're going to start descending down. We're going to lose a little bit of height there now. So where your oar's fine at the minute, keep your nose just a little bit higher. We don't want to descend too quickly. I'll do a little bit of trim to help. That's it, it's good. It's a slow descent. We're just checking the radars for other aircraft. Tracking the terrain radars, but I can see the terrain out the window anyway. I can now see the runway lights down up here, see some white lights over there. So then, well that's actually the airport terminal, that's the end of the white lights there, the runway starts there. But like all these big aircraft, they take about 15 miles to get established on the final approach. To slow the aircraft down, that kind of thing. Just watch them steps behind you there.
Yep.
I always just feel a long time when you land, doesn't it? When you go somewhere.
Yeah, there's no rush. We've got to let the pressurization system up here. That's like an automatic system. And as we descend, it depressurizes, that kind of thing. So we don't want to rush it. We don't want your ears popping and that kind of thing. We want to do as smooth as we can. So just take the time, slow descent. And also we've got the throttles back at idle. With idle, there's 34% on each engine, 70% there. So that's why you still get quite a bit of engine noise out of the engines. But really, with idle, we're saving a lot of fuel. We're using the inertia, the weight of the plane to take it down. Energy management, saving fuel, but keeping this same kind of speeds really. So there's the runway now. We can see the airport and the runway. 15 miles is pretty much on the nose. We're going to fly ahead. We're going to descend down to round about 5,000 feet. I'll let you know when that is. At the minute we're at 8,700. We'll level off at 5,000, bringing the nose up, and then we'll do a right turn towards the airport. And when we're lined up with the runway, keep the runway, centre line of the runway, lined up with the middle of the aircraft. And you want the runway just visible. The runway wants to be just visible here. If you see too much land, you're coming down too fast. If your nose is too high, you won't see the runway at all. You want the runway just visible. So the DME's alive, distance measuring equipment is telling me that we are 16.6 nautical miles away from the airport as the crow flies. Okay, recall check, there's no errors. Start switches go out of continuous mode, so if something was to flame out, it'll restart automatically. Seatbelt signs are on, landing lights are on. There's no lights on, that's a good thing. I'll test the systems to make sure. I'm recycling here just to make sure there's nothing wrong. There's no lights stayed on, so there's no errors with the aircraft. The auto brake system comes to max, so we do maximum braking on landing. The spoilers get armed. The spoilers, they come out the top of the wing to spoil the lift. They kill the lift on the wing so the aircraft stays on the ground, so you don't start bouncing around. So there's the airport. We're flying towards a little lake up ahead, and that's fine. You see like a river in the distance. You just make out a river going to the right.
Is that one?
Yeah, it's a river.
I
We're
saw
kinda-
something similar before. I thought it was birds flying or something.
It could be. There could have been, but you can't get birds the same because we replicate all kinds of emergencies, including bird strikes. And I'm going to bring the throttle back to idle, and we'll start to slow the aeroplane down. There's a train down there. As the aircraft slows down, the nose tends to drop, so you've got to pull back a little bit more. If you pull back a little bit there, keep the nose a little bit higher, back up towards the horizon. Right, so it's come back. Nice gear coming down, so we're going to get the wheels down nice and early. Make sure we get 3 green lights here and here. We're not going to get distracted by all that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 3 greens. Check once, check twice. The gear is down and it's locked. Speed is good. Flaps are coming out. That was a little bit higher. Okay, now we see the river a bit clearer. We see the airport on the right. So we're looking at the airport. We're looking for other aircraft in the area. Anybody coming into land, that kind of thing. So just a little bit of forward pressure there. Okay, flaps 15. So we'll just slowly bring the flaps down in stages. Saves fuel, saves drag. We don't need them all out straight away.
Do we need to turn right?
Not quite yet.
Nope, going
Nose,
up,
that's it,
going
nose a
up.
little bit lower, yeah. See the river now?
Yeah.
Okay, you're just going to stay on the inside of the river as it goes around, that's what we're going to do.
We need to turn now the
You
right.
can have a slow turn, yeah. We're going to keep gently descending down as well. So come around and get lined up with the runway. There's some lights to the side of the runway. That's what the pilot's looking at. Them lights help them line up with the runway, and they also guide it for being at the correct height. Just fly straight ahead a little bit for us there. Okay, what you can see is, if we come round, there's some white lights here, on the side of the runway. They're called poppy lights. As a pilot, you're watching them. They're to the side of the runway. You see the runway now? Nice turn. There's 4 lights. If they're all white, it means you're a little bit too high. If they're all red, you're dead. You're too low. Too white, too red, you're spot on the right descent rate. But it's better to be too high than too low. So coming left there now to start bringing the wings level. Flaps 30 we've got. The gear is down. The brakes are set. That's it, we're all configured. That's perfect. Just keep it like that.
Are you sure you're not really doing it?
I'm not doing anything. Nose a little higher, so he's just dropping down a little bit there. So you want that runway just visible. So I'll pull back a little bit, I'll give you a little bit of tripping out of that. That's it, that's more like it, something like that. Just a little bit to the left, which you're doing actually. Now come right to level the wings. And now keep the wings, the horizon nice and level. Aim towards the far end of the runway. Don't look at the beginning, look at the far end and aim towards that. A little higher. If we don't crash, and I'm sure it won't, this is a really nice approach. It's better than that guy from Turkey's. And he flew them.
I'm holding my breath. Stop holding my breath.
Yeah, don't pass out on it.
I'm
Just
not quite
keep
sure
breathing.
where the middle of the plane should be.
Well, the middle of the runway should be down the middle of the plane. If you bring your head to the middle, you'll kind of like, you'll see a bit better. Because you're sitting off centre, you kind of got to allow for it. However, take my word, what you're on at the minute, spot on. Don't worry about it. That's looking pretty good. Now, as you get over the runway, we've got to bring the nose up a little bit just to cushion the landing. It's called a flare. A little bit of back pressure. Once you're over the runway, we'll do that. Keep the end of the runway in sight. That's the main thing.
Where am I going up again?
So we're going to come left a little bit there.
Left.
That's it. In a right hand turn all the time there, so we'll just keep it there for a minute.
Where am I going?
You're doing fine, just keep looking at the end of the runway. Look at nothing else, just the end of the runway. There's a bit of crosswind, I can see that tonight, but don't worry, it's coming over.
Where am I put me?
Nose
Am I landing on that line?
the big yellow one, yeah. Nose a little higher. Don't lose sight of the runway though.
50, 40.
Come left a bit to level the wings up.
Left, left, left.
That's it, there you go. Nose a little higher. Hold it there, don't do anything. There you go. Spoilers
let's-
deployed. Reverse thrust comes on. You can relax there now, nothing else to
I
do.
don't need to brake.
No, auto brakes are going to do it for you.
I'll go.
Yeah. Nope, does it for you.
Alright.
Brilliant.
I'm sure he was really doing it.